What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day of Philly sports history for May 13th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Before we get into today's episode, just a quick update from yesterday. I always strive to make sure I give you accurate information. We talked about Chief Bender and how he was inducted into the Philadelphia Baseball Wall of Fame. And I was just questioning what that was. Well, the Wall of Fame used to include Philadelphia Athletics. So they would induct one player from the Phillies, one from the A's each year. It wasn't until they opened Citizens Bank Park that it turned into the Phillies Wall of Fame. All those players that were inducted from the Philadelphia A's, there is a Connie Mack statue at Citizens Bank Park. They have all those players listed on that plaque. They took the plaques that I guess were in the vet for the Philadelphia A's players, and apparently there is a Philadelphia A's Historical Society in Hatboro. That's where all those plaques are, right down the street from me. I actually am interested in going to visit this place, maybe get some ideas for the pod, possibly even interview some people. So stay tuned for that. I might make a trip next rainy day or something like that. But that's what the difference was between the Wall of Fame and the Phillies Wall of Fame. And it's just kind of odd to me that truly, if you think about it, the Phillies were always the second tier team. They never really got out of the A's shadow, even though they moved in 1954 until 2004. So it was almost 50 years after they moved, they were finally able to almost get out of their shadow. Just sort of an interesting tidbit there. But speaking of those Phils, good 6-3 win last night over the Rockies. For those of you who stayed in bed or went to bed early, I did manage to stay up and watch all of this game, and I was dozing during Craig Kimbrell's save opportunity, but it was tied 3-3 in the eighth. Trey Turner hit a two-out double. Alec Boehm walked. Bryce Harper hit a two-out double to knock them both in. Ended up scoring himself for the 6-3 win. Boehm added a homer. Tawan Walker, 3 earned runs in 7 innings, which is pretty good for Coors Field. 4 in a row. All of a sudden now the Phils are looking good after dropping that terrible 6-game losing streak. They've now won 4 in a row to get back to 500. Help is on the way for the rotation as Ranger Suarez was scheduled to start today. I haven't heard anything of the contrary, so that's a much-needed boost. It seemed like Alvarado, they were saying on the broadcast last night, he got some good news with his elbow. He was feeling good. He's expected to throw at some point this weekend in Colorado. So all of a sudden, weather started getting warm, just like Charlie used to say. And you know this is the time Schwarber starts getting hot. So we will take it. Speaking of hot, it was hot yesterday. And if you're anything like me, you want to put your T-shirts on and just enjoy it. Now's the time to act and build up your summer wardrobe. Start putting the winter clothes away. Why not go to phillygoat.com and check out their wide selection of Philly sports and Philadelphia-based apparel. They have a ton of Philly stuff. They have a lot of Bryce Harper shirts. If you want to celebrate his big game last night, go to phillygoat.com, promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off your order. I know there's a couple that I like. They have a picture of him wearing the Fanatic headband, blowing a bubble. There's one which is like a cartoonish character. I'm sure you've seen. They have a couple different players. But celebrate Bryce Harper's game-winning two-out double last night. And the good thing with them, because I've used these guys myself, the shipping is amazing. So if you order today, you probably have it in time for the Cubs homestand this weekend. So phillygoat.com, promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off your order. All right. Union in action tonight, also against Colorado, but they're down in Chester. They take on the Colorado Rapids tonight. Quick, I don't want to get too much into this because I have a lot for Game 7 tomorrow with the Sixers. But I wanted to mention, and I saw a lot of this on Twitter yesterday, the refs did not cost them that game the other night. Stop it. Just stop. Were they good? Absolutely not. Did they miss some calls? Absolutely. Were they the reason? No. Nobody wanted to step up and take charge in that fourth quarter. I mean, Maxey couldn't hit a shot. Joe couldn't hit a shot. Harden disappeared. Toby, I mean, where was he at the entire game? And I think to blame the refs, it's not fair. Yes, the refs do kind of sway the game here or there, but that is not the reason we lost. Please stop saying that. I'm slowly starting to get a feel and a lean on this game. I'll get more into that tomorrow because I still can't feel whether I'm just being a homer, a Negadelphian, whatever. But I will have some stats and this, that, and the other. I will tell you the odds are stacked against the Sixers. Doc Rivers, this team, it's not looking good. The one thing the Sixers do have, and again, I'll get more into that tomorrow, is the fact that they did win Game 5. So usually the team that wins Game 5 has a shot. But, I mean, between Doc Rivers, Joe, and the Sixers in their history, they're not good in Game 7s. I don't know. But one of the road games they did win, Game 7, did happen in Boston against a team probably better than this Boston team. So we got that going for you. More on that tomorrow, though. But today, we're going to go back to 1985. And on this day, May 13th, 1985, construction began on One Liberty Place. You might be wondering, why are we talking about a building down in Center City, Philadelphia? Well, prior to building this One Liberty Place, there was a gentleman's agreement, and I think it was the Art Commission, and I forget exactly how it went down, but there was a gentleman's agreement that no structure would go higher than the top of William Penn's hat on the top of City Hall. Enter the guys that wanted to build Liberty Place, and they said, screw that, we're doing it. Well, the story goes that William Penn then cursed the sports team, said, you'll never win anything while I'm not at the top of the city. You might think of this what you want, but the building opened March of 1987. Flyers went to the Stanley Cup later that spring, lost in 7 games. And then just from there, it was bad run after bad run. You had the 93 Phillies losing in heartbreaking fashion. All of the Flyers misses. What was the 90 Sixers? The 90s Sixers, not 1990, the entire 90s for the most part. You had the 90s Phillies. All of those, the near misses, this, that, and the other. If you want, it's a good listen, especially on a dreary Saturday. Back to the Future, we did an episode on this last October, just really in depth. And again, think what you want, but as soon as they built the Comcast Center, put a little William Penn statue up on top, Phillies win the division that year, and then the next year they win the World Series. So again, maybe there's not such thing as a curse, but that's one hell of a long coincidence for there not to be some merit to that. But again, October, Back to the Future, wherever you get your podcast, took a deep dive into that. But on this day, the curse of Billy Penn started with the construction of One Liberty Place. And then they doubled down and put a second Liberty Place next to it. Again, say what you want. But the Sixers playoff spotlight really ties into that. We're going to go back to 1984-85 today. They finished 58-24, second in the division, third in the conference. They were just 2 years removed from winning the championship. This was Charles Barkley's rookie year. Moses Malone averaged 24.6 points per game and 13 rebounds. Mo Cheeks, 6.4 assists. Charles made the all-rookie team. Dr. J and Moses played in the All-Star game. Moses was all-NBA first team. Bobby Jones was still doing his thing on defense, second team all-defense. In the playoffs, they kind of rolled. They rolled over the Bullets 3-1. Second round, they beat the Bucks 4-0. They're the Bucks again. I'm telling you, that's why when we talked about that yesterday, it was such a big thing for the Bucks to finally beat the Sixers. Then it was on to the Eastern Conference Final where they ran into the buzzsaw that were the Celtics and lost 4-1. But was this the first casualty of the curse of Billy Penn? Because those Eastern Conference Finals started the Sunday, the day before construction started on One Liberty Place. So they played on Sunday. Construction started on Monday. They rolled through the playoffs, and all of a sudden they get blown out by the Celtics. You make the decision on that. But the 84-85 Sixers did make it to the Eastern Conference Final. Phillies looking to win their 5th in a row today. I'll have more on Game 7 tomorrow. Union in action tonight. Go to phillygoat.com, promo code Jim Montgomery for all your Philly apparel needs. It's going to be a busy sports weekend. Go. Have yourselves a Saturday. I'm Jim Montgomery. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.